All right, we're going to take a look at the soap bubble problem. And you can see when you look at that particular problem, it gives you computer output, so you know it's going to be some kind of regression. The first problem is, part A is write the equation of the fitted regression line. Now you have been trained to write it as, I'm going to go ahead and write it out, height hat is equal to negative 2.679 plus 9.5123, and then the x variable is equal to, I'm going to put amount detergent. Okay, now the way we're going to give credit right here is, do you have the y variable? Do you have the hat? Check, check. Do you have the right y-intercept? Do you have the right slope? And is the x variable amount detergent? Okay, do not use units to signify what that particular variable is. If you're using like milligrams or grams or inches or whatever, that's not what the name of the variable is. That is a unit. All right, so there are 5 checks on this particular problem. Write it out to the side. Now, my person right here has the right equation, and since they identified the variables over here, they're going to get a 5 out of 5 also. It's just a little bit different. This is going to give you full credit. Remember, there is a formula on the formula chart. Y hat is equal to a plus bx. So if you write it in terms of x's and y's, you are obligated to make sure you explain what y and x are going to be. All right, so 5 out of 5. Now B, this one I changed up the last 2 problems. You can tell probably from the typing, but B is identifying the standard deviation of the residuals. So in your answer, you need to have made sure you were able to figure out that 1.99821 was the standard deviation of the residuals. Give yourself a check, okay, if you have it in your answer. The standard deviation of the residuals, 1.99821, okay. And so what we're looking for is a typical distance, all right, a typical distance, okay, and if you have that, give yourself a check. Second check on this particular problem. A predicted bubble height is away from an actual bubble height. Okay, so let's just make sure we check it off. 1 for identifying the 1.99821. 1 for saying, all right, it's a typical distance, all right. Predicted y, which is the predicted bubble height is, give yourself a check, is away from the actual y, which is the actual bubble height, give yourself the 4th check. So there are 4 checks right here for this particular problem, all right. Now, part C, it's not on your AP test this year, so we're not going to grade part C. I changed it up and I made it a little bit harder than what the AP test was asking you to do. I was looking for a confidence interval, but you don't have to worry about that. So in this particular problem, all right, this is from 2006, problem number 2. There are 9 total points, okay, and my person got, my person didn't get all 4. 9 is the total. I'm going to see what they did. This is the standard deviation of the for a fixed amount of, in other words, the experiment was repeated many, many times. There would be standard deviation of different heights from a, this person would have gotten, I'll go for nothing. All right. So that means my person got 5 out of 9. All right. I'd like to see that typical distance going on. Okay. And so we are now finished grading this particular problem.